My name is Gary the Numbers Guy, and today we're going to talk about what is a coincidence and what actually constitutes a real pattern. You know, when you see stuff like 9/11 and we're the first plane to hit the World Trade Center on that looked like an 11 side by side, the Twin Towers, but both had 110 stories. New York, the 11th state in the Union. You keep going on. They both had 110 stories. Uh, it, it's just all there. You see a concrete pattern. One, two, three, four, five. Now let's talk about what's a coincidence. A coincidence is when you have the Vikings play the Colts in week 15 and people think that's a sign that they're going to be playing each other in Super Bowl 51. I mean, I want to thank you fucking frauds for just making my life very joyful just reading this crap. Real numerology is when you can go out there and say, okay, the richest men in the world are born on the 28th because Bill Gates, Carlos Salim, and Mr. Ortega, who've been going back and forth for the past 10 years to hold the richest man in the world title, are all born on the 28th. So, see, we have concrete examples. Not that the Colts beat the Jets 41-10, which adds up to 51, so they're going to be in Super Bowl 51. Wow. When I say that the best athletes are 11s, Michael Jordan, born 2/17, 1963, 2/17, 1963, adds up to 29, 2 and 9 is 11. Kobe Bryant, born 8/23, 1978, adds up to 38, 3 and 8 is 11. Going back in the day, Jim Brown, born 2/17, 1936. Same birthday as Michael Jordan, except you're switching 3 and 6 at the back end. And again, adds up to 29, 2 and 9 is 11. Dwayne Wade's an 11. Kyrie Irving's an 11. List goes on. Dominique Wilkins was an 11. List goes on and on and on. So you have concrete proof that people who are 11s are very athletic and good at sports. To say that Andrew Luck is in his 5th season and because of that he's going to win 5 games in a row, that's crap. That's absolute trash. And, it's very obvious what's going on. I created a team of numerologists because after I threw all the numerology books away in 2002, because I started studying numerology in 2001, I realized they were basically all half-truths. I figured it out by myself. Now, a lot of people will ask, well, who the hell are you? How did you figure all this stuff out yourself? Well, it's very simple. I'm born on the 7th day of the year, so I'm the only pure 7 energy there is. I'm a 33 life path, and I'm born in the snake year. That's all the best of the occult. Am I the best athlete in the world? Am I the best looking guy in the world? Am I the richest guy? No. I'm good at what I do because of my unique combination. Now, what the elite are trying to do is they're trying to promote this gematria crap. And this isn't even the real code. The real code I teach my students, which is why I require a signed non-disclosure. Now, a lot of people say I'm a fraud because I charge money. Well, first of all, I don't teach gematria because that shit's for free all over the internet. Not one time I've ever taught gematria in my classes. And I have over 300 students worldwide. I do teach how to decipher letters, but it sure as hell ain't that way. Believe me, if the information's out there and millions of people know, it's most likely misinformation. See, that's why the Masons are not a secret society. They're a society with secrets. Big difference. And I base my organization pretty much the same way. I feed my students knowledge and they share it with each other and get better. You know, real numerology is when you can take someone's birthday. For instance, someone, like Barack Obama. President Obama was born 8/4/1961. 8/4/1961 adds to 29, 29 adds to 11. He signed his signature legislation, Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, on 3/23/2010. 3232010 adds up to an 11. So an 11 life path passed his signature legislation on an 11 day. Now, that's only one example. What about this? His wife, Michelle Obama, or Michael, whatever you want to call her, is born 1/17/1964. 1/17/1964 adds up to 29. 29 is 11. Their supposed first kid, born 7/4/1998, also an 11. There's a pattern. There's a pattern with presidents and people who are running for office, not just in America, but I can start off here. President Bush was a 33 life path, the 43rd president. John Kerry running for office, born on the 11th. John McCain running for office, born on the 29th. Sarah Palin, born on the 11th. See, this is real numerology. You can't count up their letters in their name and figure this stuff out. Come on, guys. Are you really this stupid? Listen. I got 10 NBA finals in a row. That's never going to be matched again, by the way. Even by me, I don't think. I'm not going to get 20 in a row. When it comes down to NFL, I'm probably one of the best handicappers in the world. I don't just pick teams. I pick them against the line. I beat Vegas over 60% with my top picks, over 65% with my top picks since 2015. I've been beating Vegas consistently since 2012, and my subscribers to my NFL picks will prove it. So here's the deal, folks. You have to have credibility. You have to be doing something for a while and actually be credible at it. People think I'm a Mason, or I'm part of the Illuminati, or... Folks, I was the first numerologist on the scene attacking the New World Order. I'm going to tell you another thing. Because I tend to be more conservative, that's cost me ESPN. That's cost me ABC News. That's cost me countless interviews with huge publications because of my views. And for people to say that I'm a shill because I've been on the local Cleveland news, folks, I'm a local celebrity. It is what it is. I called radio stations here for 10 years to get my name out there. No joke. I put in the work, fellas, because I was the first one in the game that actually proved you can beat sports with numerology. Prove you can beat the stock market with numerology. Hell, I called a bull market this year. No one else saw that coming. Again, am I perfect? Hell no. I make mistakes too. But here's the thing, I'm better than everyone else. It is what it is, folks. In closing, I want to say this. The strong always take from the weak, but the smart take from the strong. And when it comes down to the Zionist-controlled world we live in, the wise take from the smart, and the wise being the Zionist machine. If you think you are going to challenge the Zionist machine with some freaking YouTube videos, some tweets, you're out of your freaking mind. Not going to happen. Muammar Gaddafi, born 6'7", had over $100 billion at his disposal. He had an army, a real army. He was toppled in 9 months by the New World Order. 9 months. He had, again, almost $1 trillion freaking dollars to fight with. A real army with real weapons. Couldn't do anything. America didn't even use ground troops, just bombed them. They used the local militia. And you think you're going to stop the New World Order with the YouTube page, with tweets? Make people aware. I do it. The reason I do is not to topple these people. The reason I do is because when the world actually does change, and it will, I want the world to be aware that not everyone was fooled. When numerology and astrology start being taught in classes, I want the world to know, no, not everyone in this century was a freaking moron. Some of us were aware. You can't change the world with money or weapons alone. The way to change the world is with influence and gradually. You can't do it right away. You will fail. I've studied every single world leader of any significance. And based on the numerology and astrology, I know what their mistakes were. Some honestly couldn't be avoided. The Zionists will only be defeated from within, not from without. The Zionists use the white man as their bitch. The black man is the Zionist pet. They control all the banks. They print all the money. They control YouTube. They control everything. You think you're going to stop them? No. Give it up, folks. Give it up, man. Only thing you can do is try to educate people who will educate their kids, and then you have the information spread. But they know this, and that's why they contaminate information with leaks. Like, for instance, they'll have a couple guys out there who've been right on every prediction, and then they'll get one wrong big time. The one everyone put a lot of money on. And that's what they call taking one for the team. I'm fairly certain that these people who are running their mouth about gematria, who popped up since 2015, I'm very, very certain that they're paid agents, at least the top ones. Because what they're showing is not real numerology. They're showing coincidences. And yes, as I explained in the beginning of the video, there's a coincidence and there's numerology patterns. You have to learn the difference. Obviously, no matter what I say, some of you people are gonna think what you think, and that's fine. Your laws. But I will tell you this. I have talked to the top people in this field. They know nothing. They just read books. The reason I am as good as I am is because I've given people readings in elevators, people complete strangers. I see someone in the line, what's your birthday? I see this, what's your birthday? What's your birthday? What's your birthday? I've given probably 30,000 readings in my life, and I would say about since 2010, 20% of them have been paid readings. And when you tell people certain things are going to happen, and they always say, yeah, you're right. and people start thinking you're psychic. And most of the people, this is awesome. They're like, Gary, how did you get your gift? My gift? My gift is called hard work. That's my gift. My gift was knowing, oh, these guys are full of shit. I'm not going to listen to them anymore. And then I found the real way. In closing, how do I say this? Not everyone's meant to know advanced knowledge. You got to think of this world, this reality we're in, as a virtual reality matrix. And numerology, astrology are some of the cheat codes. That's basically how it works. I figured out and cracked a lot of those cheat codes because I'm born on an imprinted energy that would be very good at doing things of that nature. My students who sign non-disclosures, I ask them, make them 2 promises before they start classes, and I ask them 2 questions when their classes are done within 2-3 months. And the 2 promises I make are, these classes will change your outlook on life completely. And it doesn't matter if they're a novice or they've been at numerology for a long time. That stuff doesn't matter. And the second promise I make is they'll be able to read people like a book. When classes are finished, I ask them, have I changed your outlook on life with these classes? If the answer is not hell yeah, it's always a yes. And secondly, when they can't read people like a book, so that's no big deal, but that's the thing why some people are loyal. Because I actually helped change their lives. You would think that would count for something, no? 300 students around the world, even more took my stock market numerology class. No one calls me a fraud. No one who has any proof that they've talked to me thinks of me in a negative way. They're all either want to take classes or think of me as the top numerologist in the world. It's only the people who are jealous or who want to take my position that I've worked so hard for. I really have. And, before any of you clowns knew what this stuff was, and before all you other numerologists were just, reading books, never making predictions on sports and stocks, I'm the one who started this game. Now, everyone's trying to imitate me. I guess that's a part of life. But I knew that would happen, and that's why I had my students sign non-disclosures. Always 10 steps ahead. No, maybe only a couple steps ahead of my students, but 10 steps ahead of everyone else. In closing, this is a matrix. And though, just like the matrix, there are going to be lots of Agent Smiths out there who are going to mislead, misguide people on purpose. It's up to you to use this right here to figure out who's real and who's not. Whenever my student thanks me for changing their life, I tell them this. In a world full of frauds, thank yourself for finding the right teacher. My name's Gary the Numbers Guy, and I'm going to take GG33 all the way.